Welcome to Blake Street Banter, where one of us knows what the word banter means and the other three are just along for the ride. Kirk, say what's up.
What's up?
James, say hi.
Hi.
And we are joined by Dugan Darnell, the myth, the legend. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming back on. Appreciate it.
Where are you coming in from? Where are you at?
I'm in Michigan. I'm just outside of Detroit, in Northville, so hanging out and getting ready to go back.
Very nice.
Where's back? Where you headed to?
Arizona.
Back to Arizona. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
Is that where you're gonna finish your off-season stuff?
Yeah. So I'm training the same guy I've been training with the last 3 years. I'm training with Carl Kaufman and some other minor leaguers in the area. And then, I'll finish up at Salt River Fields right before spring training.
All right, sweet. Like, how stoked are you about it? Like, has this off season been good for you? Like, were you gassed at the end of it, kind of recouped?
Yes and no. I was, everybody's pretty tired at the end of the year, but I was more so just excited to see family and friends again. But off season went really well. Got my body weight back up to where I wanted it to be. Started, completed the goals I set out to complete. And then throwing on ramping is going well. So.
And I like the new chain that you got. I think you had
It's
that
actually,
last time.
Yeah, it's actually like 5 years old.
Okay.
But,
Showing it off.
but,
I like it.
Yeah, I got to sometimes.
Right. So what was the very first thing you did when like Spokane Indians playoff series was over? Like what was it? How did you like regroup?
So came back immediately. My dog was my best friend. Tears. Got to hang out with my dog again, see my family and friends, my girlfriend. I went out. My brother was getting married, so I was my brother's best man in his wedding. So we went and had his bachelor party. That was a blast. And then about a month later, late October, he got married. So that was a big thing. Took my first trip out to Denver, and that was a blast. So it was good.
What's your initial thoughts on Denver?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Did you go to Casa Bonita? Did you go to Casa Bonita?
I don't think I did.
Oh,
That's not like. Don't suggest that.
You have to go to Casa Bonita if you go to Denver.
I mean, it's something like you should do at least once, but like it's nothing that great. Like.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think the South Park guys. I think the South Park guys bought Casa Bonita. Is that true? Did that ever go through?
I don't know if they bought it or what. Dugan, do you even know what Casa Bonita is?
I don't think I do. I'm sorry to say that.
Aaron, explain what a Casa Bonita is.
So it's a family Mexican restaurant with a bunch of entertainment. It's got cliff divers. It's got a hidden tunnel. Trying to think back when I was 10.
What?
What else was there? They had an arcade.
Yeah, it's just like a giant, it's like a palace.
It's huge.
And there's like waterfalls with people jumping off of them. And like, I just remember they had some bomb sopapillas.
The sopapillas.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to go for sure.
Like growing up in Denver, every public school student, we go to twice a year. So it's kind of I don't know. When you're older, it's a joke, but when you're a kid, it's like the greatest place in the world.
The best thing of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to go there. I was there for I was in Denver for I think 2 days. I went with just my dad. And we went actually to seafood places downtown Denver. We thought that was a wild thing, best thing ever, because we were like landlocked and there was a bunch of seafood places. Like, what? Okay. But they were great.
So you can see yourself putting on some roots in Denver in the near future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
So did the Rockies take care of you when you're there? Because I reached out to you a little bit. It was you went to a Rocks game and stuff. Like, did you just text Monfort and say, "Hey, I'm coming into town. Can I get some ticks?" Like, how does that work behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah, it wasn't Munford, but we have a guy, and they're all really nice, really cool people. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty simple process, but yeah, they took care of us.
That's pretty cool. Hey, can I get some cool tickets? Yeah, your seats are cool too. They're very nice. All right, let's talk
we were
ball.
lucky.
Let's talk your 2021 season. So you killed it. Like, did you, like, when you were in it, like, did you feel like I belong? Was it easier? Was it more difficult than you thought? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I really, in the middle of the season, I don't know if I really stopped and thought of it in any terms like that. I kind of tried to keep it more personal. So like, how did I do yesterday? What could I do differently? Did I suck? Did I do good? Even if I did do good, like, what could I build on? And it wasn't really until like a couple weeks after the season ended where I kind of just stopped and was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I just try to keep it, put the blinders on and keep it like today and tomorrow, and that's it.
that mentality has to that has to be a big part of why you were successful. Like, you just said the reflection piece. I know I do that every day in my daytime job. Like, it's what could I do differently in that moment? How is tomorrow going to look differently? And like, my brain never stops, and I feel like I'm successful in what I do. So I think that has got to take you. It's got to feel good for you to get to that point and have that kind of routine down for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. And that, like you just said, that's applicable in a lot of different industries, a lot of different jobs. As soon as you stop and think about the big picture too much, you'll get distracted and, get away from your strengths. So,
what was your routine, like day-to-day routine?
So as you guys know, I mean, we had night games just about every day. But usually I would wake up. So my brother's a financial advisor, and him and my mom kind of instilled like this holistic, habit in me where, if you're doing something for your brain, you do something for your body, because they work 9 to 5. So they're like, okay, I get up in the morning, I do my workout, and then I go to work. So then I was like, well, I'm kind of flip-flopped, so instead of waking up and doing my workout, I'd wake up and read a little bit or do a puzzle, something for my brain. And then after that, it was going to the field, eating, obviously, going to the field, getting stretching in, a bunch of mobility and stability work, stuff that, I had to do to keep myself fresh. And then we'd throw and have BP, and, the whole day would start.
What does like prep look like for you as a reliever? Like, so you have your routine. So when you get to the field, like, do you, I don't know how, like, starters, I can see them going through the lineup, finding the tendencies. Right. Do you do that as a relief pitcher, or do you kind of worry about that? Like, once the 6th inning hits, you're like, all right, time to kind of check on the 7th hitter.
Yeah. So personally, I always carry a notebook with me. In every game, I write down the lineup by hand, and I track just about every pitch to hitters, just so that I could kind of figure out tendencies, weaknesses, and basically, because when I would track hitters, or when I would track for, say, like Hillcrest, he's a lefty that throws 99. I don't do that, So, but if I could see that a hitter was like selling out on fastballs early, that's something that I could use to my advantage, So I would kind of track that way, and then come around. So near the end of the season, I threw late, like eighth, ninth inning. And then I'd get my stretching and whatnot done, anytime before the seventh inning.
So does your mentality change at all if you know you're going to, well, obviously you don't know if you're going to throw the seventh, eighth or whatever, but does your mentality change from those middle innings to if you're going in the ninth and, this is it, do or die time?
Right. That's one thing I kind of thought about is like, I really try to not change my mentality because then again, like, we talked about that's, looking at the big picture and kind of distracting yourself from your strengths. So I would just kind of think about it as, I got 3 outs to go get. Doesn't matter if it's the sixth inning or the ninth inning or anywhere in between. I'm going to go out there and get my 3 outs or 6 or however many, that they asked me to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not breaking any new ground here, but it sounds like your mentality is just one pitch at a time. And you kind of carry that over in your personal life, even with your prep and all of that stuff, just one step at a time, not thinking too far ahead or paying too much attention to it until it's over, probably.
That's right. Yeah. And especially in the off season, think about it all the time, baseball, trying to get back to it, but one day at a time and stacking progress is the biggest thing, especially in the off season, because you got a lot of goals, at the end of the year, you kind of self-reflect and think about what you could do better and what you have done, but you can't do them all overnight. So you got to kind of pick and choose and be methodical and, let it happen over time.
So speaking of goals, then what are yours heading into Arizona, or have you solidified any yet?
Yep. So a couple things is, I wanted to increase or have better command with my curveball, be more consistent with my delivery, especially out of the stretch. So those are things I've been working on. And then obviously as you go throughout the season, you lose a little bit of strength. So basically just rebuilding my body and getting back to center and, just getting ready to go full tilt again.
Do you guys lift weights in this season?
Yeah. Yep. We not nearly as much as the off season, but yes.
Yeah, some reason
you can tell we're athletes.
Yeah,
we're all athletes.
I'm just thinking, there's some reason, like, do players actually work out? Or I don't know if I heard that or if that was something a myth or whatever. But anyway, sorry, Kurt. What was your question?
I don't think it's that bad of a question because like I play like once a week and feel like I get hit by a bus after one game. So it's like I can't imagine going and doing that every day or just about every day, So it's like I don't know. What do you think how was the physical drain compared to any other time in your career? Did you really notice a huge difference in that, or were you prepared for it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Rockies did a really good job in preparing us. They have, a plan set out, and on top of that, you have, your own routines, what works for you. Like every player has their own sort of, their own thing that they have to get done to make themselves, be ready to go every night. So for me, having, workout 2-3 times a week not only helped keep strength, but get rid of soreness, and staying on top of the athletic training side of things for my arm and for whatever else. So, I know other guys don't really have to touch it as much and they're fine, and everyone's different. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think the physical aspect was too different from what I've been used to, but yeah, it was definitely more for sure.
So like you pitched 55 innings, like the most in your career, like in any,
right.
Any season.
Yeah.
Did you feel it at like August? Like I mean, you just told us about like your self-care and like how you keep track of your body and keep it nice and tight and fit and all that good stuff. But like, did you like just feel it at a certain point? Like I got to work a little bit harder today.
Yeah. Definitely. But at the same time, you hit a certain point, I think around early August, where it's just kind of like, your runner's high. You've hit your stride, you're in the game, and that's just the way it is. But getting up to that point is tough for sure.
Yeah. Go back to August, September. What was that Spokane team like playing, like that hot streak you all had? That last month and a half.
Oh, that was the best time I've had on a baseball team in a long time. That was a lot of fun. Every time we showed up to the field, man, it was like no, everybody knew we were gonna win. Didn't know how. We didn't know how. We could see. Even if we scored, or even if the other team scored a bunch of runs, nobody really cared or thought twice about it. It was cool. It was awesome.
That's fun. Noah Davis said very similar things to us the other few weeks ago. He's just like, because he showed up, late with the trade and stuff, and he just kind of showed up to Spokane, he said, and he just felt like he was part of the team, like right away. And that just threw you guys all the way to the postseason with that team. It's just, that's gotta be fun. Like,
oh yeah,
you wake up in the dog days, you're like, all right, we got this. Like, this is a good fucking time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was an amazing piece to our team. I mean, talk about a guy who's like, he knows so much, and I know every single pitcher on the team was picking his brain, and kind of just not only just picking his brain, but like kind of just shooting ideas off him. And it was cool because he had access to technology. He had this kind of different perspective from a different organization. But he fit in right away. It was cool because like he said, it was awesome.
That's cool to hear. I like that. Did you know in 3 of your 36 games, on only 3 of your 36 games in Spokane, you did not record a strikeout? Is that pretty cool?
I did not know that. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't trying to strike out the side every single time I went on. Aim small, miss small was my mentality, but that is a cool stat. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool when I was looking at it. I was looking, like, going through Spokane, and it's just like, he struck out almost everybody every time he was out. It was pretty cool. What was that call up like from Fresno? So when you got the call early May, what was that phone call like? Like, yo, I just got here like 5 weeks ago and I'm already leaving, or?
No, it was kind of funny. It was the first game at where were we? We were at Inland Empire. It was the first game I threw that day, and then afterwards, after the game, I think there was one play where I didn't get over in time, but it was like a ground ball, like a couple feet from the bag from first base. So our first baseman just picked it up and got the out pretty easily. That afterwards, Winton and a bunch of other people were in the coach's office. Sorry. Anyway, so I walked in there and they were just like, hey, you can't miss, we got a call from the front office. You can't be not getting over in time. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, that won't happen again. Yes, sir. And they're like, yeah, we know it's not going to happen again because you're going to Spokane. Okay. All right. So it was cool. It was funny, but yeah, it was. I didn't really know what to expect. The first year in the organization, didn't really expect to move much. I was just kind of focused on trying to be better for my next outing. So
who was your first phone call after that call up?
Oh, my mom.
Oh, mom.
Yeah. Yep. My mom is she's always been kind of I don't know if you call it shrink, but I've been able to talk baseball with her through it all for my whole life. So she's always been the one to kind of keep my head on straight and kind of, be there for me, so yeah, that was a really cool call to have.
That's awesome. Then did she come out and help you move out?
Nope.
No.
I actually had to go from Inland Empire and get on a flight at like 4 a.m. the next day to Eugene, Oregon, to meet them at obviously playing the Eugene Emeralds. So I went from a road trip to a road trip and had one of my buddies pack up my room in Fresno.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it was tough, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So how long were you living out of a bag?
About 4 weeks. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Yeah.
Was it just the stuff you had with you when you went to Inland?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just that's wild. So you just had to check
6 days of clothes. Yeah. Yeah.
You think they would have had that figured out by now? Like how can we make this a little bit smoother and easier for these transitions for these guys?
Yeah, but at the same time, I was just thrilled to be promoted and be able to compete at a higher level. Even with 6 days of clothes, it could have been 3 days of clothes. I didn't care. I was just happy to be, moving up the ladder.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if that's a business. Like, hey, we'll take your stuff. You call us, we'll grab your stuff for you and we'll bring it up within a week. Like, we can guarantee that for you.
Yeah, it's called moving companies.
But you do it on a discount and you're like the phone call, like you're that man. Like the one that Antonio Brown called, like to get picked up when he quit. Like yeah, like you're just that phone call for these guys.
I think you should start drafting a business plan.
I don't think it's going anywhere. What was the coolest stadium that you pitched in last year?
Fresno was awesome. I mean, that was obviously an ex-AAA stadium, so that was really cool to be a part of. Outside of that, yeah, I mean, that's for sure. And then, Spokane had a lot of history there, but yeah, I mean, I have to say Fresno.
Chukansey Park? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Chuck Chansky, maybe. I don't know.
You weren't there long enough. All right. You saw some of the questions. Let's get some of these fan questions out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
You were prepared a little bit. This one was from Skylar. What's your favorite team you've ever played for? It can go from Little League to last season.
Yeah. I'd have to say it's a tie between my senior year of college at Adrian College or Spokane. That was an amazing time.
Did that Adrian team, didn't you guys do some things?
Yeah. So we actually lost in like the regional championship. But we had really, really crazy years. It was fun to be a part of. But yeah, I mean, for 4 years we won the conference championship. So I got four rings from college, and it was a really good time. Obviously, met some of my best friends and lifelong friends. So really cool.
I like that. That continuity is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. Smoothie or crunchy peanut butter?
Smooth. 100%.
Kirk, what are you? Smoothie or crunchy?
I'm a smooth guy. I put it in my oatmeal, so I like it to melt, and I don't want it to be all chunky in there, but
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
James is definitely a smooth guy.
Why?
The question is, who's a crunchy guy?
I am. It's It's a normal thing, Dugan.
I don't know. Like, I think
Isn't
if
it?
I'm just having PB and J's, I might go crunchy, but I use it for a lot of other things, like protein shakes, all that stuff. You know,
I'm not about that life. Yeah. I am only making peanut butter and jelly. That's the only time I use peanut butter. So I like the crunchy with it.
That's fair.
James is going to refuse to answer.
It doesn't matter to me. If I want peanut butter, just give me some peanut butter.
Yeah, no, the fan didn't put in James's opinion. He wants to know.
We are talking to Dugan. You're right.
Yeah, nobody's asking mine.
I really want to attack James here. Who's your favorite player growing up, and what pitchers or players do you look up to emulate your game after? I really
That's
like
a
that
good
last
question.
part. I like that last part question.
Yeah. Let's see. So my favorite players growing up, it was kind of an interesting duo. It was Derek Jeter and David Ortiz.
Yeah.
So Derek Jeter, because I played shortstop. I was an infielder. He was from Michigan. You know, it was it was an easy target too. And then David Ortiz, because I had some close family friends that were big Boston fans, and then of course, I became a Boston fan for a little while, and he was just my favorite player. I wore 34 for him for many years. But yeah, and then the second part of that is kind of a mixture again between like, I don't know, I guess the energy I try to like, mirror or match would be like Max Scherzer or like Liam Hendricks. The kind of just like, the blinders are on. They don't care about anything else. They just care about, getting their out, getting their strikeout, executing their pitch, however you want to put it. I think they show some pretty crazy fire on the mound that I try to emulate.
Sure.
Yeah. And then pitches, I would like to get to Shohei Ohtani's level at some point. He's got a pretty nasty splitter and a pretty lively fastball. So, yeah.
I like that. Those are good goals. The intensity piece. I remember I did a little thing on it beginning of the season with Fresno, and like it was you hit the guy at first. He walked to first base, and then he stole base. Ball got by. Center fielder threw it to third base, and the ball hit the runner in the back as he was sliding in. And like you trotted across, like he was on the ground still, and you like kind of like stared at him, like looked at him, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And you went and got the ball, and you just went back to the mound. Like you weren't like saying that to him, but it was like you were zoned in, like, I'm not here for this nonsense. I want to get back on this mound. It was pretty funny. I'll send you the breakdown of it, because it was going to be about you. It was like one of your first outings, and then it just turned into this guy getting hit twice and you just being perturbed that he was
it
being
Spokane?
annoying. No, it was Fresno. Spokane doesn't do any broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
It's so annoying. No, it was Fresno. I'll send you the link.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember how I was like a little bit flustered because the guy went to bunt and he stepped across home plate, and there was like a ball basically right down the middle. So I was just confused as to how that became a hit by pitch. But it was kind of funny.
You had a good face there too. You and Drew Romo were like, what is going on? It was pretty funny. What is it? So this is from Rock's Farm Report. What is it like stranding exactly 69% of base runners?
I guess nice. I don't know.
Yeah, just say cool and move on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, nice is the appropriate answer. this one, you did not see this question, so this one's new to you. I have two ones that you haven't seen. Who do you want playing behind you while you are on the mound? Like, who are some of those guys?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't think there's a single guy that I didn't want behind me. You know, everybody that played behind me was lights out, you know. But some of the, you know, I had a lot of fun watching Tovar. He was insane. And Jack Blomgren, same thing. Hunter Stovall. I could go on and on. Eddie Diaz. There's a lot of really good players behind me.
If baseball doesn't work out, you can be a diplomat. You know that.
Sure thing.
Go for it. That question was actually from Hunter Stovall's dad. Almost positive it was his dad. So
really?
Yeah. Way to drop Hunter's name there.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me that after.
The diplomat thing. It's going to play out for you if the ball doesn't work.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
All right. No more surprises. Like that. This is from your first international fan. France Rockies sent this one. Huge shout out to you also for just being willing and sending that ball out to him. He was pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the support.
It was pretty cool. He has some questions. What was it? So it's French English. So playing in a very good Fresno team and his trade in Spokane, we kind of covered that already. What was the weather change like for you from Fresno heat to Spokane rain?
That was initially very tough. Very tough. I think when I left LA, it was like, you know, around 80 or 90 degrees, maybe even hotter. And then the first game in Eugene was like low 40s. It was freezing cold. And so that was very tough. But then ironically it became one of the hottest summers of all time, like in Oregon. You know, I think we played a game in Hillsboro when it was like 115. It was insane. Yeah. So, I mean, it was interesting. You know, both had challenges, but didn't change the game.
Yeah, that's
it's probably pretty humid too, because going from Fresno, like that's just the desert, dry.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
Did you have any issues with like grip or anything like that? Does that affect that much at all?
No, surprisingly not really. You know, so there was like forest fires too in the area. So that kind of, I guess, added to the humidity. But it never really got too bad. But a couple of times we had smokeouts. Obviously that was kind of brutal, but yeah, no, it never really got too horrible.
We covered it a little bit. The closer or a reliever?
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not quite set on either. You know, I like both, and odds are I'm never going to be set in one specific role. So, it's better that I don't have a favorite. Especially, you know, as we progress and you change teams, and even the team that you're on changes, you know, pieces and parts, you know, odds are you're never going to have the same role throughout an entire season. So, especially as a reliever. So, you know, I guess anything past starting is my favorite.
Good answer. On that, what he also had this on there. Was there any like difference in philosophies from the coaching staff? Were you was they both on the same page, like as far as you go, or anything?
Yeah, so they were for the most part pretty much on the same page. And that's a testament to them, you know. It was pretty even keel throughout. I know that the pitching staff in Spokane kind of broke down my data analytics a little bit more and kind of helped me realize that, a lot of my deception happens at the top of the zone sometimes, with specific counts and specific hitters. So just to like kind of break it down that way and kind of understand how my pitches work best in the eyes of the hitter, it was really cool to see.
Yeah. Was analytics new to you? Did they drop any like new knowledge for you?
No, it was not new to me. I've been using that kind of analytics for a couple of years. The only thing was that my pitches had progressed more so this past year than previous years. So I had to just kind of understand what my pitches were doing, and kind of use that data to like understand what my philosophy was, how I was going to attack specific hitters, and I told you about that notebook that I had. So I'd kind of see like, what kind of their weaknesses were and how my pitches would kind of exploit their weaknesses. So the analytics it was nice that I knew it, but it was nice to kind of understand a different way to apply it.
That's pretty cool. Is that something like I don't know how I want to ask this. Like when you started playing baseball, like at Adrian, was that ever like part of the game plan? Like the analytics parts, or was that just
no, it was never.
Yeah.
Yeah, never. I mean, plus in Adrian, I was a position player. So, I mean, we had really nice facilities. We had a hit tracks in our batting cages. But that really only just told you exit velocity and, launch angle stuff that we never really used anyway. It's just like a video game, basically. But then pitching wise, I mean, I didn't have any sort of idea about mechanics or analytics, anything. At Adrian, I just got on the mound and threw as hard as I could to try to get my strikeouts. That was it.
And look how you've grown. That's cool.
That's right.
I love that.
That's right.
All right. One last thing before we get out of here. We have talked to John Snodgrass. He's a musician, a recording artist, huge Rockies fan, and we asked him to make a song for you.
Oh boy.
And here it is. I don't know how well the audio is going to be for you. Again, I'll send you the actual audio, or we'll have it out here, but it's a fun one. And we'll just get your live reaction. Let's see how this goes.
So, what's up with the Rockies bullpen?
Well, when we last saw our hero, Dugan Darnell turned into a grizzly. Dugan Darnell turned into a grizzly last year. He's a right-handed pitching man, all the way from Michigan. Played short then third, now he's up on the mound in Spokane. Dugan Darnell, we wish him well. Yeah, we hope he comes an isotope or a Connecticut yard goat. Dugan Darnell, I hope I don't jinx him. Dugan Darnell, he pitches swell. He can hit too, and that's really good news. We hitters too. Dugan Darnell, I hope I don't jinx him. He has a dog, that much is true. I hope I didn't jinx you.
Dude, that is for the theater. Okay, I hope that expression is also for baseball, not just the theater. Dude.
That is Dugan Darnell by John Snodgrass.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
We'll send
That
you
was pretty good.
it was fun. He's just like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And he did it. Not a jinx.
That was pretty good. That was really good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Might have to use that as your warm up song when you come out of the pen.
Oh man, that would be memorable.
Who's this guy coming out to his own song?
To his own song. Yeah.
What
Never would
is
think I
your
made it.
what is your song when you come out of the pen? Do you have a specific song?
We never had ours played last year, for I don't know why, but I usually do Square Dance by Eminem, like the very first
Okay.
couple seconds. Yeah, that used to always fire me up, and I I had that in college. And, it was fun. I had a USBBL. It was good. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not really set on one because it hasn't really been played for a couple years now. So.
They didn't play any warm up music in Spokane.
Not really. They would just kind of do different
Whatever they wanted.
Advertise. Yeah, whatever they wanted, or like advertisements, or there'd be an on-field thing going on. But yeah.
Seems like a missed opportunity, if you ask me, but
yeah, John Snodgrass would be on the loudspeaker.
Love that. Dugan, thank you. We got you. It's fun. Thank you for spending this time with us. And are you going to Hartford? Have you been told where you're headed?
Nope. I would assume it's going to be, same as last year. Get to spring training, prove yourself, make a team, that kind of thing. So at least that's what I'm prepared for. Just gonna, I've been preparing, my tail off all off season long to, get to spring training and shake the room.
Yeah,
like you said.
Let's go.
And yeah, do it all over again. So wherever they send me is where they send me.
Yeah. Love your mental. All right. I appreciate you, Dugan. Thank you for hanging out with us, and let's go shake the room, man.
Let's go do it. I appreciate you guys' support all season long. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been so much fun following along with you and seeing you like pretty much dominate too. So
yeah, I appreciate it. It's fun and it's even more fun to have the support like you guys. So thank you guys and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for watching and listening. Please check out our link tree for more content.